Hello everybody, this is James Riddle with allaroundarlingtontx.com. I'm sitting here with Troy Beans. Now Troy, you are a relationship coach, correct?
That's correct.
So tell me a little about what it is you do.
Well, I was an educator for 23 years, taught PE, taught boys basketball, girls volleyball, taught government, U.S. history, and throughout that time period was always very interested in relationships. And in fact, one time I was coaching early on in my career, I was coaching a girls volleyball match. This was back in the days of 2 out of 3 to 15, and very tight match, went 3, we won at the end, and a parent gave me $20 to take the girls to Taco Bell. Well, that wouldn't probably cover it today, but it did then. And we go to Taco Bell, and the girls are just excited, and they're having so much fun. And one of our managers, a great guy, he's dating one of the girls on the team. And I look around, and there they are, off by themselves, while the rest of the team is just having a great time. I'm thinking, man, that's just not right. You know, we need them over here for this. She needs to experience this. She shouldn't be over there by herself. And so that really started pushing me to, how do these relationships these kids have, how does that affect my team? And more importantly, how does it affect them? It's more important for me to help them as individuals than it is to help them knock a volleyball over a net. But that's what really got me involved into looking at relationships and wanting to do something like that and to help people with relationships.
That's great. What is the name of your company?
78freethrows.com.
78freethrows.com. How'd you come up with that name?
Well, it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of names we were looking at, and I just couldn't come up with anything that I liked. Relationship coaches, and there's all kinds of different ways of relationship coaches' names. I didn't like any of them. And I started throwing out this idea of 78 free throws. And at first, some people said, that's not going to work. And there's still people who tell me they're not sure it works. But then I said, I like this. And one day in the gym, I made 78 free throws in a row.
Wow.
And okay, so do I name it that just so I can brag about the fact I made 78 in a row? It really stands for two solid principles that I want my business to stand for. And first one, 78 in a row is excellence. There's not a lot of people that have made 78 in a row. Now, I know other people have made a lot more, but that's something that people look at as excellence. I certainly look at it as excellence. And I want my business, when people deal with me, I want them to come away going, that was outstanding. That was value. That was incredible value that we received from 78 free throws. And then the second idea is I didn't walk in the gym and make 78 in a row the first day I ever shot free throws. I worked very, very hard at it for a long time before I was able to do that. So I want my business to stand for hard work and for going the extra mile for my customer. I want to provide value for them until they're saying, wow, I do not want to leave 78 free throws. I love working with 78 free throws. They are helping me in just multiple ways. So that's where we came up with the name.
That's awesome. What types of people do you try to help?
We really have a kind of 4 niches per se. They're all very similar. I like working with people who are ready to work, that are saying, hey, life's good, but I want it to be better. An individual who's saying, I'm looking to date, I'm looking to possibly marry someone, but I want to make sure that I have my life together. And I know I've got everything going in the direction I want it to go, so that as a high-performing person, I can go out there and attract another high-performing mate. So I love working with the individuals. And then the 2 individuals that have been dating and are looking to get married, who come together and say, hey, we think we love each other, we think we would work well together, but we want to make sure that's the case. So I have I work with a company called Prepare and Enrich. And on the prepare side, each individual will take an assessment. It takes about an hour to do, so there's a lot of questions. Mm-hmm. So it's customized to them because they're the one answering the questions. and we work through it. What is their communication skills like? What is their conflict resolution? We go through finances. We go through family backgrounds. A lot of things that we wouldn't necessarily think to ask maybe in a normal situation. And then we get into marriage and they come up and we have to deal with them. So for the most part, couples will learn, they'll grow. Every once in a while you'll get a couple that says, you know what? Good thing we did this because we don't want to get married. This isn't best for us. And that doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. And obviously a whole lot cheaper and better to do it now than to do it after the fact.
Yeah.
So couples are looking to get married, married couples. Married couples who are looking at their life going, you know, we love each other, we like what's going on, but we want this to be better. We want every part of our marriage to be way up here. We want to really connect and live life to the fullest. That's a married couple I love to work with. Couples with kids. They have another assessment that you go through a lot of the other marriage stuff, the individual stuff for the marriage, but then you go through each individual kid. Each parent will answer multiple questions about each kid. And so mom treats one way, dad treats one the other way. Why do we do it that way? How can we melt? How can we as a team work together to raise Johnny, so to speak, versus we're fighting against each other and the poor kid's caught in the middle kind of thing? How do we develop those connections with our kids so not only are we teaching, our kids things, but they're coming to us. They feel safe with us. They want to talk to us. And a lot of parents will say, boy, how do you make that happen? Because I can't get my kid to say anything. But you want to have those incredible connections with your kids. Fourth component, I love to do public speaking. Love to talk about relationships. I'm certified with the Medical Institute of Sexual Health in Austin, Texas. So I have talks ranging from a whole talk I do for dating, for people who aren't married, knowledgeable, uninhibited, wholehearted commitment, I call that. That's kind of a mouthful. And then I have a talk I call Why You're So Sexy. And it's all the neuroscience of sexuality and how our brains work and how we bond and those type of things. So I have another talk that I use called Love, the Most Powerful Force in the World. When I speak, I want to challenge you. I want you to be thinking when I leave. I want to leave you with some serious value so that you're going home and going, how can my life be better?
Well, I'm already starting to think. I'm trying to figure out why I'm so sexy. But so who are some of the people that you're trying to help? What types of people do you help?
Well, right now I'm, a couple of couples that have gone just really well. I had a couple that he'd never been married before, late 30s. She'd never been married either, but has 3 kids. And there could be a lot of issues there. There could be a lot of problems putting those two together. They came to me. We started going through this process, started to root out some of the areas that had caused them problems, that could cause them problems in the future. And they just put this family together just seamlessly. It just has worked incredibly well. Their finances, the way they've done everything, it's just been incredible to watch them. Obviously, they're doing the work. They're making it happen. But it was very, very gratifying for me to watch them go through this process. Another young couple that I'm working with right now, young, not engaged, possibly will be down the road, but talk about high performing. I mean, they are the poster child, if there was such a term for a couple, for how to date, how to respect each other, how to treat each other right. And at a very young age, this young man has a business, so he's making almost $50,000 a year.
Wow.
I mean, so the financial side's already, starting to be taken care of. But they want to do it right. They want to make sure that they have all their, I's dotted and T's crossed, and they want the best marriage they possibly can. When do they want to get married? How they want to go through this process? It's just been incredible working with them. Really, really enjoyed it.
Great, great. Now, Troy, if someone wanted to learn more about your services, how would they contact you, or what would they do?
Well, I have a website, 78freethrows.com. They can certainly go there. Email info@78freethrows.com. I will personally get that email. I will respond very, very quickly, and we can start to discuss whatever situation they're in. I clearly offer a free consultation to make sure that we're on the same page of where we're going. And also I can have people come to me for this, or we can do it on Skype, and that works really well, extremely well. In fact, a young couple I'm working with now don't live in Texas, so I can really work with anybody, virtually anywhere in the world. I talk to my daughter all the time in Argentina, and that Skype's a little, I mean, the audio is fine most of the time. The video is sometimes a little fuzzy. But even here in the DFW area, if you don't have to leave your house, you have the convenience, you can just get on there, boom, have your session, you're done. That's very convenient, and it works extremely well.
Great. So. One last question. So what is your opinion of March Madness this year?
March Madness has got to be one of the best times of the year. I mean, it's just every year there's upsets, there's all kinds of crazy things. Obviously, Kentucky's going to be tough to beat. There's no doubt about that. But, first couple of weeks you're always looking for that dark horse, that Cinderella team, and, everybody fills out their bracket, and after the first two games, they're throwing their brackets on the ground usually, but fantastic time of year. Okay,
well, super. All right, well, you heard it from Troy Beans from 78freethrows.com. And again, I'm James Riddle with allaroundarlingtontx.com. You guys have a super day.
All right.